Alright, we are now live. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's live stream where I'll be working a little bit more on the project you are seeing before you, the fracture object deformation tests. The general concept here is that we have a mesh that's being manipulated by, say, an armature, which let's make this visible in the viewport. So this is being manipulated by that, and then we have a collection of cells, as we can see here. And these collections of objects that are from the cell fracture add-on are just being moved by this object. So as we can see, it's kind of being cloned because that's the only way that we can affect a collection currently, which isn't the worst. Just because it helps keep things organized. But yeah, that's what's currently happening. I saw someone comment that they were surprised that I did not make a geometry node version of the cell fractures. And currently we can't really do it in a good way, at least not a fast way. So in theory, you could go and cell fracture an object using geometry nodes. The problem is it will be extremely slow. I mean extremely, extremely slow. And then on the other side, the output will be geometry slices, not necessarily instances or objects. Objects are kind of instances, they're handled in the same way on the geometry node level. But that's that. Once we get the for each loop, it would be possible in a not super duper slow way to make the cell fractures instances. You just go and say, hey, for every mesh island, make it a cell, put the origin to where the center is, you're good. So here's to hoping, actually, wait a minute. In 4.1, we have the two instance, split two instances, interesting. So here, no, we could do that. We don't need a for each loop. They included a node for that. I wonder how fast this is. I don't expect it to be too fast. But you would have to assign, would we still need the for each loop? I'm not entirely sure. But you would need to give a separate group ID, basically say, hey, this one, your number's 1. This group, your number's 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But I don't think that this will put the origin. No, we'll need a for each loop. We can't set the origin to be in the center without it. Well, we could, by moving all the geometry, yeah, we could still do it. It would just have to be a little bit reordered in the order of operations. But yeah, I digress. A few things to know about this new method. I'm now relying on only one object. With this method, if for those of you who watched the previous live stream, I needed one object that was still all the time for these cells to reference, like, how close am I to this still object. But I've switched this around to where we have the object in its default pose, and then we store the rest position as a named attribute. As we can see right here, it's literally just storing a named attribute and the default attribute name, which I should go and relabel that. Attributes. Yeah, there we go. I go and label it rest position just so that we have the default location of the object stored, so that after we can deform it with either a wave or an armature as I have here, and then after that deformation, we can go and deform the collection because it's referencing that rest position, which oddly enough goes and simplifies the nodes by a good amount. Now, this still isn't perfect. There's still a few things that I would like to change. One is that the rotations, I found that Euler would cause the little bit of glitching when both the offsets were at 0. That causes it to not happen anymore. I'm not sure why that happens, but this works. I'm a little concerned with how Eulers will interpolate around the vertices of the mesh, but it should be fine for what we need to do today. Is the music too loud? No, it should be fine. Just checking the audio levels. But yes, that's what we currently have. Overall, it's not that difficult of a node setup. The most complicated part, unfortunately, is the, oh dang, why did I have that as the bitangent? Is the UV tangent node, which you could use another tangent, but the UV tangent is the most solid when the object is stretching, deforming, all that good stuff. I think. I could try to use, face corners, like face corner 1, face corner 2, but the problem with that is that when it interpolates, it'll have harsh cutoffs. So if something's bending, you won't see a nice even bend, an interpolated bend along the points of the mesh. You'll have a few faces that are doing one thing and then it'll instantly snap. So if you have a low poly object, that might look bad, or I guess it might look good, depending on what you're cooking, I guess you would say. Like, actually, wait a second. The tangent here, I need to try out different things. Because I could just do face corner 1, face corner 2 position, put it on the face domain, and then send it along its way. That could work. But with the... yeah, okay, I just remembered. With the tangents, actually, I can showcase this a little bit. So we have the tangents pointing in a certain direction. Let me go and actually extrude the vertices so that we can actually see the offsets. Unfortunately, we don't. The viewer node is quite limited so that we can pretty much only see the colors. We can see that these parts are going out to where they should be. They're going out to the side like that. But that's because the UV map is facing in the same direction. So the interpolations are good. But if they were facing in different directions, according to like the spiral order of the face corner indices and all that good stuff, they could be facing in different directions, which means that when that interpolation happens, it might not be that great. But, actually, in theory, if the interpolation is the same amount between... actually, yeah, would that work, regardless? Like, the interpolations, when it interpolates, if it's just the same before and after the deformation, it should be alright. I'll look into that, because if I could make this not reliant on a UV map, that would be really, really good. Oh, and I should also mention, for those of you who have been waiting for this UV tangent node, it's currently out on my Gumroad page. Out for free is the shape key node. I just put it up like 30 minutes before the stream, because I know quite a few people have been wanting that. It's now up, and it also includes this node. This node should be in Blender by default. I think there was a mock-up of it a while back, but unfortunately it was never really expanded upon, so I had to make my own version, which is a bit of a pain to do. So I wouldn't recommend it. I had to combine multiple versions of what the Blender devs had, what some game dev papers had, and then what other people in the Blender community have done. So with all those, I got this. This seems to have the least amount of errors, like almost 0, except when there are ridiculous stretching and if the normals get inverted on the face that you're working on. So it should be alright. But that's on Gumroad if you want to go and get it. Yeah, that shape key thing is still a little bit experimental. It seems to be mostly good, but it still has a little ways to go. I'm still, in my brain, I'm still cooking a little bit with that. Okay. So yeah, with this, I'm going to try to make this a nice little run. Okay. I want to try a couple things with this. I'm going to try this on a face object, and then I want to turn this into chocolate and caramel. My current name on YouTube is Cartesian Caramel, and someone recommended that this be chocolate and caramel, and I was like, that is so on brand, that is perfect. Let's do it. Okay, so yeah, let's get to doing that. Right now, I originally thought of rendering it as asphalt, and I'm actually not too sure why it's lagging. Oh wow, we can... oh, this is Eevee next. I shouldn't use this because it is laggy as all heck. We can also see that, the temporal reprojection isn't as bad as I remember in Eevee. The old Eevee. But yeah, that's the plan. Like, look at... wait, that's interesting. Eevee next versus Eevee? Dang, what is wrong with... I'm assuming that's just some bugs. That's very... Well, and they flipped around the HDRI spheres. That is interesting. And there's a bug there that I've known about for a little bit. So yeah, EV Next is bugged. Let's not deal with that for now. Let's make some chocolate and caramel. Fortunately, because we have the original mesh, I can just copy that, move it down, and then set a caramel material on that. But again, let's make this chocolate, because that could look very, very delicious. I think it'll look amazing. I'll need the bump node, but I'll go and throw a noise on there, a low detail noise. So I'm just going to try to get the right... Here, let's just set this up correctly. The right hue for chocolate. A nice, deep brown, almost red chocolate. Let's go and turn up the reflectivity. Maybe not too much. Oh, that could look pretty good. I'll need to turn on the subsurface scattering, which I will say the new principled node is so good. It's so much better than it once was. I'm not seeing the, Here, let's put sunlight in the regular rendered view. Let's turn off keyframes. The weight. Oh, weight needs to be 1, and then you added the scale. That part's a little bit funky. But we can see that that happens, which gives it just a little bit of softness. So here, yeah, that's looking a bit more like chocolate. If we turn it off and on, we can see it just makes it a little bit softer. I think it's a tad too bright, but we can go and edit it. That looks a bit more like taffy, I guess you can say. Okay, so that's good for that. Let's go and bring in our noise texture and just move it around. Just a little shading thing, a nice little break, because I've been doing quite a bit of math recently. So I'm just winding down, taking a little hiatus from all of that. That does not look like chocolate. I want it to be nice and smooth chocolate. You look at it and then you say, that looks delicious. Let's tone that down so it should be that much. Set that to 1. Ah, okay, that's a little bit of a problem right there. So the UV maps from the self-fractures are still a little bit iffy. They're very differently scaled than the stuff that's up top. Ooh, that could look really, really good. Not like that, though. I have a plan for that. I can change this to be on the object, no, on the texture coordinate object input. There we go. Ooh, dang. God. Just need to scale that. Well, actually, no. The UV map would be better because it's consistent whether it's, you know, where it should be and where it's not. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Wiggle Bones add-on for the bone physics, just because that's easier to animate stuff. So, I need to find out, like, the one downside with the cells not being procedurally generated is that I can't really go back and edit those UV maps. They would be, actually, well, they would be a big pain to edit. So I'll need to find some way of making sure that all of the faces that are not original UV maps are good. I'll figure that part out later. Let's have another noise texture. Let's head to 1 dimension. And we'll see that this will make this look, okay, not quite like chocolate, but hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. Like, we switch that to be 1. It's a little much. Oof, yeah, I'm not loving that all too much. Let's try to make it work, and if we can't, we just go back to the old version. Like that, it's, like a little bit like that, but I don't know why it's a little bit off. Maybe I just need to, oh, is it the distortion? Yeah, I want a little bit, but yeah. Nah, nope. Well, it's kind of weird how I kind of see Voronoi cells when that happens. That's interesting. I'll just use the one that I had. We'll worry about that later. Let's turn this down to 0.5. 0.5. There we go. Still, something's very much missing. Like, if I turn that, I'll figure it out. I've done it before, so maybe I can just pull it from the project that worked. But that looks okay. Not the best, but, eh. Is it just YouTube compression, or is the chocolate semi-transparent when you did that? I highly doubt it's semi-transparent. Like, the subsurface scattering might give it that kind of look, but should be fine. I need to fix those UV maps. But let's get the basics down, and then I can worry about the other stuff. Let's just turn that off so that we can have just the chocolate. Let's go and change this. I'm going to move this down so that's in between all the layers. So now it's a different material, right? Yes, it is. So we can change that to be more of an orangish color. Getting the color of caramel could be a little bit tricky. That, in my brain, oh, that's just cheese. No one wants cheese. Like, that's close enough. Here, let me go and just move this over. Man, so much space. So much unused space. Just delete that, bring this over to here, bring that over, put it over there, zoom in. Yeah, I just need to make the chocolate texture a bit better. Overall, not too shabby, except for that. How am I gonna fix that? Well, let me save, and then I could go in and attempt to diagnose the issue. Like, I know what the issue is if we select all of these. Shoot, that's not great. Actually, oh, can I not select the interior group? Oh, that's if I have multiple objects selected, I can't do that. But let's see, what else can I do? Maybe, okay, so I can try using a geometry node, and then copy that geometry node on everything, and then just apply it. And then that should be good. So I can do that, and then in geometry nodes, let's just see if I can get this to work. That might have been a mistake. Yeah, let's try to make it so that, yeah, let's just rotate it. Let's get the, no, not capture attribute. I want to get the named attributes. Interior. Oh. No, oh wait, no, I do want to see that. Oh shoot, did that not get assigned? No, it did not. That is lovely. Okay. So all that data is just not there. That's not good at all. Maybe I can select it by the normal, like if it's pointing straight up or straight down. You're good, but everything else I'll just redo the UV map calculation. That could work. Let's give that a go. So normal. Separate XYZ. I'll use a greater than and a less than rather than just doing each one independently. Z. There we go. So here we can see. Huh, that is odd. This should be on the face domain. Ah, there we go. There we go. Why am I hearing Zelda? Because that is the background music that I chose. Let's see. It's good music. It is quite good music. Actually, I could use not equal, and I think that could be alright as well. I just go and make it so that it won't have everything else. The sides will get canned, but if I redo the UV maps, then it'll be the same either way. So then I want to, actually I want this to be equal because I want it to only affect that side. I can go and set the UV map. This needs to be a 2D vector on the face corner domain. And we can just plug in whatever we want into that, and it should be good. So I'm going to plug in the position. Oh, dang. That takes the X and Y. I wonder how that will work. Rip Minecraft music. Oddly enough, I got copyright claims for the Minecraft music, which I was very surprised by. I thought that would have been, safe. But maybe it might have been, I think it was one of those weird companies that copyright strike everything. But that one, since it's Minecraft, it should be fine. But that was weird. I would have to double check on that. So how do I make the UV maps on these look good? I want the selection to just be that. So that when I do this, let's take a look at the render. And let's scale this and see what happens. It works. Very nice. I should probably randomize this for every single instance. I can offset the position by the object, the self-object location. So self-object, we need to get the object info node. I hope that we can get an object attribute node. Because the object info node is so limited, it's not even funny. It's so limited. Like, you can get only location, rotation, and scale. You can't get the object color. You can't get, quaternion inputs would be fine because of the new update. But, like, the parent info and all that, it's all funky. But I hope we could get an object attribute and view layer attribute node. Because that would be really, really good. Okay, so now that I have that, I just need to go and apply this to all the cells. Let's go and do this. Control L, copy modifiers. So we should see that that should be good. Do I either add or subtract? Yeah, it should be fine either way. So now, if it does its thing, I should also apply the geonode, but maybe I want to go and edit it a bit after that. So many cells. That is funny. Let's go and collapse that, hide it, show the deformer again. So here we should see once it expands. There we go. That's much better. Maybe a little bit too detailed even still, but significantly. Some of them didn't get the memo. Oh, no, wait, maybe. Yeah, that might just be because those are leaning a bit too much. Maybe I just scale them to 0. Maybe that's the play. That may be the play. 0.05. Yeah, wait, why is it? Oh, maybe this is not. Okay, it just wasn't exclusive enough. Let's set this to 0.999. Yeah, it wasn't exclusive enough. 0.15. Yep, there we go. Good, good, good. Put those into frames. And that should be clear. Other than that, let's just go and hide that, take a look at that. So that's good for now. I need to spruce it up with some good lighting. Not just HDRI lighting, but because that's just a little, I don't know, it's a little... the thing that came to my brain was boring. It's a little boring. So let's go and spruce it up with a few lights, and then we'll move on to the exciting stuff. So stay tuned. Also, for the people who just joined, my shape key geometry node setup is now out for free on Gumroad. I know people have been wanting that, so pick it up if you want it. It also includes the UV tangent space, or the UV tangent node, which includes the tangent, bitangent, and normal outputs. It's very useful for stuff. It should be in Blender by default. I think it was planned, but it got canned, or just no one's available to develop it. in the past, like, 6 months. But yeah, go pick that up, because that is pretty essential to quite a few effects in geometry nodes. Okay, yeah, the lighting, not the biggest fan of it. Chocolate needs to be darker. Let's go and do that. Maybe that was because of the lighting change. For this, I can go and scale it down by a bit, just so that's not poking outside the bounds. So now it looks a bit more like, I don't know. Now it doesn't look red enough, so let's go and make it a little bit more red. And the texture, the noise texture is still just a bit off. Setting that to 2. Oh, that's better. Okay. And I still want to use the one-dimensional noise just to play around with it. So let's just mix between the two and see. Let's see if we can get that to look good. No, it looks so much better in a different setup I had, and I'm wondering why it's not, because I was thinking that this was the same setup. Maybe I'll just throw on a power node. Let's see what happens then. I'm not doing any color shifting, which I probably should do. So if I do that, it'll look like that. And oh wait, I should subtract. Ugh. Not the best. Like, that looks like a chocolate, but not chocolate that I've ever seen in my life. Like, just a plain old, no distortion noise. Can look a bit like chocolate, but that's like old chocolate. Not good chocolate. Okay, let's keep it like that. Unfortunately, I can't bevel the system, at least after the fracture stuff happened. But yeah, there's that. That's good. Good enough for now. Let's move on to the new stuff. So, wait. Oh, wait. I need to... Let me move... Actually, no. I can keep those in that collection. Oops, sorry. So, I need to go and pick up... I need to go pick up a face that I can go and play around with and test on. So let me go and bring that from one project into this one. I'm going to be grabbing it from the shape key setup. But I won't be copying over the shape key at the moment. And I forgot I moved that file, so please bear with me while I go and search through and find that file. Gumroad products. Yep, there we go. Let's just go and chop out the shape key part of it. Let's go and make sure that part will copy over. Oh wow, once again, I completely forget just how small an actual human head is. Interesting mat cap. Oh wait, no, that's the mat cap that I had on this file. For some reason, I thought it transferred. Okay, so now we have this face. Oh, there we go. Let's turn on the grid because my sense of scale is very messed up. Oh no, wait, that's bigger than a human head. That's like half the size of a human. So that chocolate bar was just way too big. Because that one was going to be like the top of a... the top of a building that kind of crumbled and all that fun stuff. Which actually, I forgot one before we get started on here. I want to showcase, instead of the armature affecting it, a wave texture. So that's another version where it's like, oh, let me hide the caramel part. That's another part where this could be applicable. There is some clipping because there's multiple layers, but that's okay. Let me go and turn on... Oh wait, wrong one. Hide everything, switch that on, switch that off. Hide that once more. Turn on this armature. There we go. So, let's set this up. So I need to take this face, let's just clear all the unnecessary data. And let's go, we need to seal this as well. We can't have holes in the geometry. How's the bottom? Oh, yeah, I need to seal up the bottom part as well. Let's go and put in some cuts just so that it's not as atrocious. I was looking at the test objects from Houdini recently, and those things, oof, they're a little rough topology-wise. Oh dang, what's going on here? Are those... Please tell me that's just the normals freaking out. Oh, no, yeah, okay. No, it was just because of the other thing right there. Okay. Crisis averted. So now I need to go in and fracture this thing. Actually, maybe I should solidify it and then fracture it, because maybe we don't want all that geometry on the inside doing that. We'll see. Yeah, let's try fracturing this one first. So I'll put this in another collection. This will be cells 5. Okay. Let's go and... Let's label this space before the fracture. Let's go... Why did I viewport render animation? Cell fracture. Again, you could do this with geometry nodes, but it would be horrendously slow and just not good, if I'm being honest. Margin, we want that to be as low as possible so that we don't get any weird quirks with it. I set that to 1000, which in hindsight might be a really bad idea. So bad, maybe, that it might currently... I think it's crashing. Well, let's just see if it crashes. Oh, dang, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. That's probably not right. Okay, let's just wait until it's done and see if it turns out to be correct. Do you know post 1.16 Minecraft music can get you a copyright strike, but anything from C418 is safe? Interesting. I'm surprised by that because Minecraft is such a popular game on YouTube. I'm surprised that they would copyright strike it. Still cooking. Okay, we have quite a few cells. We can see that some of them didn't really survive all too well. And I'm going... that's why. The mouth cavity. That is to be expected. Okay, let me Control Z. Let's go and fix the mouth cavity issue. So this, we just need to go and select this right here. Delete the face. And then just seal that. Take all that. Delete the vertices. Now, we should be okay now. So we can do the operation again. I should triangulate this. Or actually, no. Let's... N-gons. And of course I did it on the wrong mesh. Oh, I am a genius. Let's hide the other mesh just so that I cannot possibly screw it up again. Okay, let's go select all of... yeah, let's just select that. Just so that we're in the clear. You don't want geometry that's too close because, well, booleans are the bane of 3D programs. Blender specifically, but most 3D programs. Okay, so now that we have that, it should be alright. Like, maybe ideally I should remesh this. Let's just make it a little bit better. Just seal it up. There we go. So now that the mesh is sealed, it should be in the clear. Ooh, oh god, what? How did it turn out to be that bad? Wow. That is unexpected. Go over there and over to there. Let's make sure that that did not freak out at all. There we go. Okay. Should be good. Let's go and cell fracture this. Let's wait for it to cook. That's why C418 stopped making music for Minecraft, because Microsoft wanted to own the rights to the music, and he wanted it to be free. That is admirable. Microsoft. Just such a great company, you know? Remember when they tried putting Cortana into everything in Windows 10? and no one really liked it. Okay, we're still getting glitches. Is that just because of the normals being all screwed up? Is recursion on? Oh well, we could run the test on this version and then just go and fix it later. Let's get this up and running before anything else happens. Okay, let's select the original mesh right here. Let's hide. Now let's move it outside of that collection into the... Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Here, I'm just gonna go and move it into... Wait, where's the scene collection? Yeah, that'll work. Let's go and hide all that. Turn on deform test, hide that. Okay, so now that this occurs, we need to go and add in the geometry nodes. So this part is really simple. Let me full screen once again. We have this. Let's go and add in another geonode. Let's have it be instance deformer 2. Let's have the cell collection be cells 5. Okay, so it should be running now. See how easy that was? Yeah, I should make this a shell method rather than all the interior stuff because we don't need all those and it probably just screws everything up. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Well, that's why we need geometry nodes to be good enough for cell fracture stuff. Let's go into pose mode and let's give this a go. I mean, it works, except for, you know, the... Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why those ones are freaking out. But as we can see, most of them do work. Like, look at that. If your character was actually made out of rocks and then that happens. I'm assuming the ones on the interior, like the ones in there that are freaking out, they're freaking out because there's no internal structure for the faces and vertices to do that. Like, look at this. So I could go and add in like a secondary mesh inside that's just a ton of like wires so that there could be some internal structure so that it doesn't freak out when stuff like that happens, potentially. I'm assuming that the one... Oh, wait, no. The ones in there are because of the cavity. The mouth cavity. Yeah, that's what it seems to be. So we're just going to go and rotate the head. Yeah, we can see that. Wow, that's actually... That feels a little visceral. Like a little weird. Just seeing that. The ones in the back broke. Okay, but it will work. I want to try this on other things, like, ooh, dang, yeah. I'm assuming that's just because the faces are freaking out. If this was cell-based, it would be much better. So let's try that. Let's try a more, no, surface-based version. Yeah. That's very interesting. Any parts that are solid will have no deformation, like the skull, or very little, because I'm assuming there's a little bit of bleeding in the thing. Let's go and take a look at the jaw. What happens then? Oh, that is horrifying. Oh my god. That's not great. But it works. So it's just like... I don't want to look at that head on, because that is triggering something in my brain I do not like. Okay, what else? I do have the neck parts. Yeah, that's working like... I should have this on a body and see how that affects everything. Because just the head, it feels might be limited. But it does look cool. I just need to figure out why those two cells are having a bad time. Let's go and try to diagnose what's going on. Can I turn on... I don't think random... Oh, random colors do work. Oh, that looks rather cool with the shiny stuff. But here we can see... Yeah, where are you? I'm assuming that it's a problem with those two vertices doing stuff. or the interior mouth cavity. Like that. Why would that? If I were to go in and chop out that part, or better yet, let's go and copy the modifiers. Oh wait, but I took out, why did I take out the vertex groups from that one? Okay. Let's make this mesh a little bit friendlier to this, where... Oh, I forgot to put the mouth cavity back in this one. Okay. So maybe because those are n-gons, that's why it happens? Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's freaking out exactly. I'm just going to assume it's because of the bad topology. Let's try to fix it, at least. Oh, no, wait. Wait, what? Wait, Oh, dang. There we go. Okay, so if I were to remove that now, it should be alright. Then, well, okay, no, this part, yeah, that seems to still be quite the issue. So let's delete those. Let's delete the top part. Right here. Delete both of those. And now they should... Actually, even with them being separated, they should still be okay. I'm just a little bit worried that since these cross, that'll be a issue. Well, Oh, wait, let's... I don't want to scale that to 0, but I feel like... Okay, let's give it a test. It's the mouth corners, isn't it? Because those are so incredibly close. Since those might flip around... Yeah, I know that's why, isn't it? So if I were to just get rid of all the problematic loops, it would be okay for the guide mesh. We just don't want any faces that kind of flip in onto themselves. So let's go and delete more of these. Or maybe throw a relax on here, a smooth function. Yeah, there we go. So now it shouldn't be freaking out too much. I'm still worried about those, so I'll keep an eye on you. Let's see. Extra curve spiral fill with a bunch of curves filling the inside. You can control the point density with geonodes. Maybe not with curves, but something along that line of logic. So here, yeah, there we go. You can see that those aren't freaking out. Now, the only ones that are broken are the ones that the cell fracture just broke. I still feel like the music is too loud. No, it should be fine. Maybe it's just my... Let me lower down my headphones. Okay. Let's go back to the armature. Lock object modes isn't on. Yay. So here we can see that works. We should see with that one part that's flipping over there, when the faces go and do that, they go... Which isn't the best. Oh, and they can't just be lines. If I wanted faces on the inside to actually work, like, oh wait, no, I can do that. I can just go and copy a selection that has a similar weight, then just move it to the inside. And since they have an orientation and such, they should be in the clear. Like, just take certain bands of the mesh, scale them down, then boom, you have like an interior anchor. With the neck, we can go and do that as well. Just go scale it down. Things should be the same, so again, interior anchor. Just for some more support, you know? Support's good. Let's go and take this one, give it a spin. Okay, it should look a little bit better. A little more like there's stuff on the inside. The jaw would probably need some more. Like that. Yeah, we can see some of those are not following around perfectly. Like, the interior cavity would have been good to have as just a mesh. Like, oh man, that is something. That is... My brain is like, no. No, no, no. As we can see right here... Yeah, no, I need to put in some more geometry onto the base. Let's go and disable that. And they need to be faces. Faces with a UV map. Because that is the way I set it up. Which is still a little unfortunate. So if we do that, then that should add some more support to both of those. Maybe I should go and have this loop, just bring it back. Just so that, again, support. Let's go and take a look. Let's go and select our armature, do that. Let's take this. Let's view it from the side angle. Dang, that is unnerving. I apologize if you're freaked out by this. It's cool, but unnerving. It's like a character becoming glass and then just shattering. We can see that the ear apparently needs some internal structure. Or maybe that's just a few vertices that are being pulled in the wrong direction. Because, yeah, the ear gets a little bit moved, and it seems like that part's taking it the worst. So, yeah, oh, and the nose as well. Interesting. I would think that all those would just look at the nose and then say, that's good. I wonder, because with those, we can see all that. Like, unfortunately, with this fracture method, it leaves a lot of gaps. So maybe it would be better for me to make my own fracture system. But no, I need a for each loop. No, well, okay. It can't be automatic, unfortunately. I'll need to separate all the loose parts and such. Yeah, I should try this out with an arm. Do I have an arm at my disposal? I think I do. Let's go and put all this in another collection. Collection. Is the camera selected? Yes, it is. We don't want that to be the case. I should save this as another file, but nope, not scene collection. New collection, P5 for part 5. Okay, let's go and plug that into there, put you into there as well. Okay, we should be in the clear for that one. Let's go get an arm. Okay, where do I have an arm? Let me, I'll go and find it. Give me a quick second. I know I have, yeah, there we go. I have a whole human body just on the shelf ready for testing, which is a very weird quote out of context, I have to say. Actually, we want the armature. Yes, the armature one. Yeah, this really needs to be another file. Okay, I'm going to copy this into the scene, and then I'm going to save it as another file. Man, all the display bones, I forgot about that. We'll have this as P6, even though we are going to just separate it into its own system. Okay, let's not save the edits I made to the other file. Okay, so P6. So I'm going to hide that, and then I'm going to wipe everything else in this file so that I can have another separate version. That could be good. Actually, I will save the face. Actually, no. The face will be in the new version, just so that we have the armature stuff all in one nice place, just in case I need to do any more tests. Okay. Delete all that. That was 1,183 objects. Now I'm going to save the thing right now, so give me 1 second. 2. There we go. So now we're back here. Let's go and delete all those unnecessary collections. Uh-oh. Okay, now, yep, that's fine. Oh, I didn't delete everything, apparently. And, wait, no, I still need the one with the face in there. Okay. Okay. Okay, where's... But... Oh, wait, I deleted... Yeah, okay. P5, and then we'll have P6. There we go. So that we can hide. Delete that. Throw all view except for the displays. I can just go and delete all of those. Should be good. Okay. Let's go and move you into a collection called P6 for part 6. And let's go and make a copy of this guy. And then cell fracture the hell out of it. So cell fracture. Yeah, that should all be good. The material, smooth interior. No, we don't want that to be smooth. Margin. Does this have a material? It does. Okay, good. So I'll put another material just so that we can switch this to be something else. So cell fracture, we move the material index to be 1, which is the second, but that's how indices work. Okay, debug points, do it now. We don't need any of that. Let's go and run it. This will take a while, so sit back, relax, get a cup of coffee or hot chocolate or tea, whatever your beverage of choice is. Non-alcoholic, preferably, if you're doing blender stuff. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate your live streams and videos. You've really helped me grow as a 3D artist. I will have to sleep now, so have a nice rest of the stream. Hey, hopefully you're still here, but yeah. Sorry, what I meant to say was hopefully you're still here to hear me reading the comments. That's what I meant. But thank you very much. I'm glad that these streams could be useful. That's why I do them. They're part devlog, part, hey, let's show the development to everyone on the internet so that people can learn through my knowledge and not have to hurt their brains while doing it. Okay, let's go and put this into cells 6. There we go. So that should be good. Now I can hide that one right there. Let's go and put on the geometry nodes that we need. We need to store the rest position, which, funnily enough, some modifiers access the rest position, which is a little weird that, like, I'm assuming the smooth corrective does that as well. So if we could have access to the rest position, or maybe the armature modifier stores rest position attributes internally, I wonder, would be good to have, so that the user would not have to add in it every single time. The user being me. Instance Deformer 2, let's have this be cells 6. There we go, now we should see. Dang, that works a lot better. Wow. That one just worked. Okay, well, not entirely. The crotch area is having a few issues. But I'm assuming that's just because the origin of the one middle cell is not in the right area. So I could just go and move that so that it'll bias to one side instead of being in a weird quantum zone. Actually, yeah, that's because, yeah, we can see that's, yeah. No, I'm just going to go and split that one. So let's just select you. Oh, yep, we can see the issue right there. So this one just needs a manual split. Just a little bit of, just a little edit right here. Be careful during the surgery. Separate by loop, separate by selection. There we go. Oh, dang. No, it has one more face than it should. Oh, that's an N-gon. Eesh. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's just go and deselect all that. And then I can deselect these. Okay. Separate by loose parts. No, not loose parts. Oh, and that's separated as well. By selection, let's go and let's go and select this part, make that a complete face, make this part a complete face. There we go, that should be good. Then I just need to do origins to geometry. There we go. So now that should be good. The origins are where they should be. So now that part should be good. Since the method that I have, oh, the bum has the same issue. Okay, so I might have to edit that part as well, but as we can see, it's mostly good, mostly. Just needs a few edits here and there. But yeah, we can see, wow, that's actually very interesting. I want to try this out with more things. Like, I could make a character out of glass. Fractured glass. That would work out quite well. So let's just go and fix that one other part. Some things that, you know, when you do 3D stuff, you don't think that you'll be working on a polygonal character's rear. Doing surgery. But here we are. Is that the best way to split it? I guess so. Let's just go and separate this in the least painful way possible. That part's good. That part's good. Separate by selection. Just go and select all of that, and then you as well. Should be in the clear. That'll be an N-gon, but I'm okay with that. Oops. And that's when everything went wrong. Not that one. That does seem... Wait a... Oh, wait. Ooh, looks like one of the polygons... Wait, what's up with... Wait. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's try to select everything that's necessary. Shoot, that is, a little rough. Let's go and, merge by distance. And then do that. Okay, that's better. Origin to geometry. So we should see that that's better, at least. Merge that at last. There we go. Okay, so now that character's rear should now be fixed. Okay, so part 6, we have that there. Let's hide the cells and the original human. There we go. So now we should see that, yep, that part is working well. It's a little weird, but it works. The knees, we can see, also have a bit of a problem, which actually, I could try to make it. If I made my own... Oh, wow, look at the foot part. Like, look at that. Oh, wow, that actually works. We would need a lot more subdivisions for it to work well, but it's not bad. We can see the interior and exterior groups doing their thing. Like, metallic on the inside. Just make that look really good. I kind of want it to be glass, but... Ooh, that's pretty freaking cool. Okay. Ray traced refraction. It's gonna be screen space because we don't have actual ray tracing in EV Next yet. We'll see if that comes, but ooh, wow, actually that's not too bad. Because the interior, oh yeah, because the interior groups have that. It'll make it look like it's refracting. Oh, that's huh. That's not too bad. Not great, but not bad. Like, it could be a bit better. Ooh, wow, ooh, that... Sometimes I can be just a little bit of a genius. Part-time, part-time. Look at that, nice and shiny. Ooh. I'm going like, ooh, wow, that's so cool. Even though it's my own creation. But there we go. That's the actual fracture part of it. We can see that very clearly. If we turn the roughness down, then we get that cool other stuff happening. Oh, the lower the roughness, the noise, yeah, noise is going to be an issue. Either way. Isn't the whole point of Eevee to be a rasterized engine? When I say ray traced, I mean ray traced as in like when you put on the high settings, like ray traced in a video game. Those games are still rasterized, but they use ray tracing for some of the fancy graphics. So Eevee would still be a ray tracer, just the reflections, refractions, and such would be ray traced. Like, imagine Eevee with DLSS. Never, well, not gonna happen for years upon years. But that would be really, really good. Just a very good denoiser for all, just the little noise. Anti-aliasing, all that good stuff. Like, imagine if Eevee was real time. Like, 60 frames per second real time instead of, you know, 1 frame per second real time. In the rendering side. That's really cool. I'm still unsure if I'll keep that part on, but for the time being, pretty cool. We can have the interior group be like that. Like, I could just make it so that in this view it has different colors, so that we can clearly see which parts are the cracks. Now the crotch area is still having a wonderful time with the cell fractures. The amount of out of context quotes will be incredible in this stream. I apologize in advance. There we go. That's pretty good. Like, I really want to make it so that there's just way more fractures in this, and I guess I could do that. Just select quite a few objects, cell fracture them, just so that we get more resolution. I could do that. I could make it so that in the neck area, we put in a few more subdivisions and such. Actually, should I go and make my own cell fracture? Man, that was quite you could literally hear my brain bouncing from one idea to another. Since this project relies on different objects in a collection, which is a good method, I can't use geometry nodes to make the instances, even if it's splitting it like once, twice, or thrice. They need to be different objects. Which is not the worst, but not the best. Like, any part that has like a crease will be having issues. If I were to split it more, it would have fewer issues. But issues nonetheless. Geonodes, self-fracture. Yeah, it could be, like, in theory it could be done now. It would just be slow. The origins wouldn't be at the center unless I implement... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try that. We're at an hour. I could go for a little bit longer. Let's just try it out. Since we have the repeat zone, we can make it happen as many times as we want. It just won't be great. Like, the actual algorithm for it is still a little bit iffy. I found one method a while ago. Well, no, that used 3 booleans at the same time. Like, I want to do it without the mesh boolean node because that is notoriously slow and notoriously glitchy and unstable. All booleans in Blender are. But, yeah. That part's not bad. Man, that's a janky run without motion blur. I should know, I animated it. But to be fair, it was like over a year ago. Maybe 2 years ago at this point. Okay, let's go and try to do a cell fracture on that. Like that, I'm surprised it works that well. I'm very happy it did. Okay, now the basic concept is that we use a boolean. This is going to be painful. We don't have a bisect node. The Blender devs thought about implementing one, but it was never finished, as with the other nodes, various nodes I mentioned today. Let's try to have a grid. Only 2 vertices, so basically we want to chop it in half with a plane. With a very... Oh, dang it. Oh, I want to make it bigger, not the other thing. So we want to do that. And the reason it would be really good to have a bisect node is because with this we need to have one version that is on the top and one that's on the bottom. So if I flip faces for the normal side, does that... Okay, it does. Good. So we can get both halves. So that's splitting it in a very... It should be one node, but doing it like this is Not great. Not great. What up, bro? Oh, we're doing cell fracture stuff. So I use the cell fracture add-on that comes by default in Blender to split up this mesh into a bunch of pieces, and then I had my custom geonode set up, move it along with this armature, which works out much better than well, about as well as I could anticipate. Like, I want to make characters out of rocks, like just have a ton of rocks, and then they just do their thing. Like, that's one thing that I'm going to do in the future. Just have a geonode set up that distributes a ton of rocks, make sure that they don't really collide all too much. I'll go and separate by mesh island, separate by loose parts at the origins of the geometries, and then just have it work on there. Because I could just swap out the collection of cell objects, and it'll be fine. But yeah, so the thing that we want to do is transform the plane geometry. I'll be right back, 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So now we can rotate that, so that's good. I need a join geometry right here. There we go. So now we have one split. You would think this is very fast, but that's because this is on literally the simplest object that you can do it on. So now we need a repeat zone, which funnily enough, the repeat zone in Blender is easier to use than the one in Houdini. Like, even, it's been a complaint with GeoNode users that the loop ID is not in the for each loop by default, due to the Blender devs thinking that people would misuse it as a for each loop. But in Houdini, it is so much harder to get the iteration index, at least in the tutorials that I have seen. I'm not sure if there's a simpler one, but you need to, like, in Blender, the closest thing I can compare it to is putting a driver to say, hey, repeat zone 1 metadata, go get that, get the loop, the iteration index, and do that. Well, over here, the loop ID is planned on coming around again, but it'll be when the for each loop comes around, and that'll be months. Like, if it's not in 4.1, it might come through like a year from now, or longer. We'll see. Because GeoNodes, for those of you who don't know, GeoNodes development is going to be going on a break for half a year, or quarter or half a year. They're still deciding on that because development time has been a little strained, and they want to focus on one project at a time. But now that we do have that value here, we can... Wait, what? Oh, yeah. In the latest Blender today, they said that basically no geometry nodes would be... development would be happening in quarter 1 and quarter 2 of 2024. Because they won't want to focus on grease pencil and the compositor. Which is unfortunate, because geometry nodes development has been, like, the simulation zone is currently in a broken state. The subpanels are half done as well. They're not in the modifier tab. The features that we've been getting in GeoNodes have been rather incomplete as well. But they did say, I think the new system, at least a break from GeoNodes would be a good idea. Because when the devs come back, they'll probably be in a more focused position. And there might be some geometry nodes development because of the Open Movie project. With Charge, they built a whole new hair system for that. Or was that Sprite Fright? I think it was Charge. So with the new Blender Open Movie coming around, they will need new geometry node tools, just because of, you know, geometry node's current limitations. So we might, I suspect that we'll still get some new nodes, and at least maybe some fixes, maybe some community fixes. In the meantime, it won't be much, but it'll be, geometry nodes is going to be on hold for a little bit. Okay. So we want to put that loop ID into a random value ID. We're going to make that like that, and we're just going to plug that into there. Good thing that's a single value now. So yeah, it's much easier to get the loop ID in geometry nodes than Houdini. Who would have thought? Like, Houdini is the gold standard for procedural tools, but working with it, it's still good, but it has its reputation of being difficult to use is very much earned, because it relies on quite a bit of coding and such for its effects, or scripting. Yeah, well, yeah, same difference. Like, the low-level stuff that we can do in geometry nodes, in Houdini, you would have to code all of that. Let's see. So here we can see, oh, there's still some. I am very surprised that I can see some float point precision errors. There should be pretty much no overlap, because I literally just flipped the face. That means that the Boolean node has just a little bit of margin for error that's being doubled by what I'm doing. So I could just go and offset the grid, which wouldn't be the worst. I really wish we had that loop ID input. That I don't like the spaghetti. I don't like it. It's not fun. What was I saying? Well, I guess I could just make this into a node group, and then the group input would just... Yeah, I can go and portal that around. But yeah, I hate the spaghetti. I really hate it. I know that with nodes everything is spaghetti, but I really dislike it. I don't like it. Well, okay. I don't like it where things are going across the node tree. I don't like that. That just feels like you should have a portal. Like, the Blender devs, again, thought about doing a portal system. They actually made a few mock-ups of it that kind of worked. But then they were like, it's too iffy to implement at the moment. Which, another thing that, you know, I can see why they would put that on hold, but I'm still sad by it. Would have been a good UI feature. Unreal has it, and it's good. So, that should be good. Like, with this, like, it's not... This one isn't actually cell fracture in the classic sense. Because, this uses Voronoi points scattered in the mesh. Like, you take random points, and then you compare each point to every other point, do a boolean between all of them, and then it just works. This one's just a brute force slice, 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 as if you chopped it up with a sword. Like that one game in Wii Sports Resort. So, it'll give a good impression of it. Oh, and also, I can put this to instances. Let's see if this... Shoot. Oh, that lagged when I put that in. Oof, that was, not good. Let's have this be mesh island. Yeah, there we go. Island index. So I can see something happened. Let's switch this to be face. Maybe that'll make this faster. And then scale instances. I don't think it sets the... Oh, that is laggy. Even with that, even with my bad version, it's still laggy as heck. So... Yeah, no, I think I would need a for each loop in order to put the island origins in the center. Unfortunate. Because I would have to get the mesh... Yeah, no, this is just where for each loops would have been better. You take every single island, you go and say, hey, what's your average center point? You move it there, you turn it into an instance, and then you move it back by the same amount. It should, yeah. I would need a for each loop for that, which I could make with the repeat zone. But, it's not recommended. But another way that I could just do this is take the geometry, the regular geometry output here, apply it, and then just separate by loose parts, origin to geometry, and then it'll be good. It needs manual user input, which is unheard of in geometry nodes territory, but good enough. That's an interesting kind of web. Okay, I think I may call the stream done here. I might do some testing in post. I need to cut back on how much I've been streaming because, you know, it's better, the less math I do, the better math quality I do. Quality over quantity. And less mental strain by trying to figure out why won't the quaternions work? But yeah. Like just watching, like the back plate right there, just seeing what would be the muscles going around, that's really cool. Yep. So I might experiment with some more cell fracturing, maybe a few slices here and there, just to see how it would work. Because that would be, actually, I'll try that now. I'm going to save this, try it out here. Let's hide this, just so that I can look here. Like here, selecting, can I select all three of these and then do the operation? Cell fracture, let's set the amount to be 3. It works, nice, okay. Might need a different seed value. Oh, and it keeps the originals. It keeps the original ones there. Or no, wait, no, those are the separated ones. So, can I make it so that, is there an option to remove the original? Show progress in real time, own verts, own particles, child particles. Let's set the, where's the seed value? Source limit, clamp recursion. Oh, randomness. Yeah, no, that should be, oh no, wait, that's for the recursion, isn't it? Source limit, let's bump that up to be like 5. Let's give that a go. Interesting. Okay, so more separation there. I'll go and, since I saved it, I can go and delete these without, having a guilty conscience. Where is the thing? Yeah, that one's separated as well. I'm really curious as to why that separation happens. And I could do more subdivisions there and all that. Like, whatever parts need more subdivisions, I could just go in and manually do that. Like, the back area. Yeah, I'll go and do that off stream. Thank you all for watching. This was a project that was more successful than I anticipated. Oop, let's go and put that all into there. Better than I anticipated. We don't need that cube. Let's hide that, and let's go and unhide bodies. We don't need, I'll put that one in for safekeeping. So here we should see around the, oh dear. Well, something went wrong. I can, what went wrong? Ah, okay, we have another horseshoe. The horseshoes are always the worst. Yeah, that just needs to be split. If I made my own cell fracture one, I probably could adjust for things like that, but we'll see about that. Okay, thank you all for watching. I hope you all had a very good time watching the math project. The result is pretty good, and I have ideas on how to make it even better with different setups. Maybe not cell fracture, but other things like putting rock objects everywhere. That could work. That could be cool. Alright, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.